Here we're going to continue with another phrase made by Rabbi Ishmael. Again, also talking about the issue of being a judge. So, Hu Haya Omer, he would also say, Al ti dan yichidi, do not judge on your own. She'en dan yichidi el echad, for there is none qualified to judge alone, only the one. Ve'al tumar, and don't say kiblu dati, and don't say you must accept my view. Shehem r'shaim v'lo ata, for this is their, or the majority's right, and not yours. So what does this Mishnah mean as far as advice goes to judges? Don't judge singularly by yourself on your own. Even though the Gemara in Sanhedrin and Daf Hey does give a ruling that yechid mumche, if you have someone who's extreme, a real scholar and a master of Talmudic law, and the general population accepts him as being a specialist to judge on his own, he can judge on his own when it comes to certain kinds of cases, let's say for example monetary cases and things of that sort. But the midat hasidut here is that the actual level, the precaution that this Mishnah is trying, that Yishmael is trying to teach us is that one should not judge by himself, and he should take two other people at the very least and bring them into to judge with him, to create a situation of a majority, to create a situation of a judgment of three people, not by himself. The only person that should be judging by himself, that can judge by himself, is the one. In other words, God. Human beings make mistakes sometimes. You overlook things, and as much of a great scholar as you may be, and as a specialist as you may be, and so on and so forth, recognize that you're a human being, recognize that you're flawed, and that you can make mistakes. Only God is perfect. As a result, bring two other people, join them onto the Beit Din as a precaution, as a humility in the process of your judgment. And when you do so, when you finally do add two people to the judgment, Al Tomar, don't tell them, Kiblu dati, I'm the expert. You have to accept my position. Because the majority have the right, it's their right and not yours. In other words, you brought them to the Beit Din, recognize that they are of value, that their opinion does matter, and they have the right to express their opinion however they see fit. Rabbi Yonatan says, Kol hamekayem et Torah me'oni, anyone who performs the Torah in poverty, sofo lekayma me'osher, the end will be that he will also fulfill this in wealth. V'kol hamebatel et Torah me'osher, and whoever neglects the Torah in wealth, sofo levatla me'oni, will ultimately neglect it in poverty. So as the commentaries point out, the emphasis should be put on the word mekayem. It doesn't say whoever learns the Torah in poverty will ultimately have the merit or the ability to learn Torah when he is rich. But rather, we're talking about performing the Torah, mekayem, to actually uphold and perform the Torah, in other words, the commandments and so on and so forth. Because a person who is in poverty and doesn't have the ability can possibly excuse himself, even though he knows Torah and learns Torah and loves Torah. Well, I can't do this mitzvah, I can't do this mitzvah, I'm depressed, I don't have money to do this, it's too hard for me. You can come up with reasons to do it. But if a person is in a state of poverty, with all its trials and tribulations and hardships, and somehow finds a way to still nonetheless always uphold and upkeep the Torah and to perform the mitzvot, the reward to that will be that he will also be able to continue to perform and upkeep those mitzvot in his wealth. What's the reward other than wealth? The reward other than the fact that he's going to have wealth is that he's going to be able to continue to perform and upkeep the mitzvot even when he's wealthy. What do I mean by that? Well, that has to do with the second part of the Mishnah. Kol hamebatel et Torah me'osher, someone who's rich and loves the Torah. He might even be learning the Torah. But, someone who loves the Torah, but mebatel et Torah. Let's say he's not mekayim the Torah. It says that he's mebatel the Torah. Bitul Torah means he's not learning Torah. He doesn't have time to learn Torah. He's too busy. He's got to be in the office early in the morning till late at night. He can't find time to learn Torah. He's mebatel the Torah. Sofo levatla me'oni. The end will be that he also won't have time to learn Torah, but in a state of poverty. So there are two aspects here that Yonatan is teaching us about. One is upholding and keeping the mitzvot. And the other hand, it's the learning of Torah. To have the opportunity to both upkeep the mitzvot and have time to learn Torah is a tremendous reward for a person to have. And if he does it when things are hard, then he'll do it then God will give him the opportunity to do it when things are easier. There are reasons for why a person doesn't have enough time to learn Torah when he's poor. Because he's poor, he's got to chase $1 here and chase $1 there. But if he finds a way a time to learn Torah, then Hashem will make sure to create a situation where he has time to learn Torah even when he receives wealth. If a person makes sure to uphold the Torah regardless of the situation, regardless of how hard it is, even though he's poor, even though he's going through those things, uphold the Torah even in a state of wealth as well, and not have, again, reasons there why he can't perform the Torah. And vice versa as well. If a person unfortunately doesn't find time to learn Torah, or doesn't find the ability to uphold or upkeep the Torah, Hashem will make sure that as a punishment to that it will be also within a setting that creates it even harder.